But yeah, I was in Montreal last week, and I took the train to Montreal, which isn't a smart thing to do. I don't remember taking the train anywhere, but it takes longer to get somewhere by train than it does by bus. Like, what's the fucking holdup? Traffic? Just go. Like, it's a train. And they've got signs all throughout the train that say, "We reserve the right to check any luggage we choose." Is there a big security issue on the train? Like, am I gonna hijack this thing, take out a skyscraper or something? It's a train. That'd be really hard to track me down. Hey, hijack the train. Where do you think he went? I don't know. Either forwards or backwards, I would guess. Probably not taking a hard right down a dirt road or something. It's in a train. Go to the end of the line and wait. It's really not that big a deal. Ridiculous. And I actually read this article recently. I don't know if anybody saw it. It's in the paper. It said, it was an interview with a guy who got hit by a train and lived. And what he said happened is he came up from behind a building, stepped onto the tracks, and was, quote, caught off guard by the train coming at him. The hell did you get caught off guard by a train? And on the tracks, no less. Like this guy wasn't wading in the ocean or something when he got hit by a train. I mean, if you're nipples deep in salt water and you get hit by a train, okay, you got caught off guard. But on the tracks? Really? As far as I know, that's kind of the only place they show up. And you're on the train's home turf, heads up. This is silly. And the article said 38 people in Canada had died this way in the last year. 38 people were just out for a walk and got hit by a train. Like, it's not like it can happen to anybody. It's not like these people were just wandering down the sidewalk and a drunk engineer skipped the curb and took them out or something. Like, it's a train. And the kicker, the thing that gets me is, okay, you're on the tracks, and there's a train coming. I mean, it's not like it's a heat-seeking missile or something. Like, you can get out of the way. Oh shit, a train. What do I do? Oh yeah, right. Well, that was tricky. That was... Like, what do these 38 people do? They see a train coming and just try to outrun it down the tracks, like, bolting along in front of it, like, I can't lose it! It's like he knows all my moves. Bullshit, caught up guard by a train. In Spain, they're dodging bulls left, right, and center. We can't outrun a fucking train here. It's sad, it's stupid, I guess. This is stupid too, I hear this all the time. You guys have probably heard it. People say things like, planes are way safer than cars. Like, really? You think so? You get two man-made vehicles made out of steel and plastic, you think the one that's 30,000 feet in the air is safer? Like, I mean, very rarely when my car stalls do I plummet to my death. Like, you've seen people clap when a plane is landed, like they're happy to be alive. I've never given a cabbie a round of applause for getting it home safe. I always assumed that was part of the deal, you know? But they try to prove it too. They're like, well, more people die every year in car accidents than die in plane accidents. Well, yeah, more people drive than fly. I mean, more people die in their sleep than die from cutting their own goddamn head off with a chainsaw. That doesn't make napping more dangerous than self-decapitation, does it? Silly. It's ridiculous. Do you remember this happened to you? Do you remember someone tell you a story that's possibly the most boring story on the face of the planet, and then after they're done, try to reaffirm to you that it's true? Like, it happened to me at a job I used to have. I was hanging out in the break room, and I was sitting because I was fat at the time. That's what fat guys do, we sit. It's very hard for a weight guys to stand straight up and down. They're really top heavy, it's hard on the back. It's kind of like being a big-breasted woman, but without the free drinks or the sex. Back pain and loneliness. So this lady came up to me and she was like, yesterday I had to get to a meeting, so I got to the bus stop 5 minutes early, but just as I got to the bus stop, the bus was already going by, and I was like, oh no! But it turns out that bus was just a bus from before that was late, so another bus came 5 minutes later, and I made it on time. True story. Jesus Christ, I hope it's a true story. What were you sitting home last night crafting up that gem? Why would I think you were lying? Like, if this is the stuff you make up, how boring is your real life? I shouldn't tell people, that's sad. And I love that she takes the beat. She pauses before she says true story. Like she's mistaking my bored silence for disbelief or something. She's got a ringtone that is true, or I'm going to call her out on it. Like, yeah. Another bus came 5 minutes later. Yeah, bullshit, lady, come on. Nobody's buying it. So I punched her in the throat. True story. Silly. Women folk. I don't understand a lot about women. I mean the obvious things, but I also understand this, and yeah, this is going to offend some people, but this is true. I don't understand how women get the right to vote. I know that's an old rule. We're digging it up. I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing that women got the right to vote. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I guess technically it's a bad thing. I mean, technically the world is worse off since women got the right to vote. I don't really want to get into it or anything, but just for an example, AIDS. This is a fact. You can look this up anywhere. Before women got the right to vote, AIDS didn't even exist. Now it's everywhere. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's 100% for certain that women getting the right to vote caused AIDS. I'm just saying it's a hell of a fucking coincidence. Like, all that aside, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't understand it. Because, like, we took a vote on that. We took a vote on whether or not women should be allowed to vote. Only men voted and we fucking lost. How's that happen? We just lost a 5-0 hockey game. We just scored our own net a bunch of times. It's mind-blowing. And like the only thing I can even think of that might justify it is like they're having the vote, like everybody take a piece of paper, write down yes, think women should be allowed to vote, no, if you think they shouldn't, and say there's 250 guys voting, 126 of them thought to themselves, this is going to be fucking hilarious. Watch this, watch this. I'm going to be the one guy who votes yes on this. They count it up like, oh, come on, guys, really? Now we're all going to get AIDS. They knew. They knew. That's silly. So yeah, my name is Peter White, like you heard backstage. I don't want to plug this before we get too far into it, because there's sort of book I think you guys should all go and buy. It's kind of like an autobiography. And it's something a lot of people do when they put out material. I tried to make like a really clever title with my name. Like a comedian Louis Black just put out a CD called Back in Black. So I tried to do the same thing. It didn't work out quite as well. My name is Peter White. My book's entitled White is Right.